Hi, we're here at Cool Clubs today with Alan. He's going to show us how to find our perfect driver today.
So real simply, what we do is we take a golfer and we measure their existing driver. We want to do that for two reasons. We want to know, one, how much improvement we can get over that current driver. Okay. And two, we want to know, we use that as a baseline for what Daniel considers normal right now. We may disagree, it may need to be longer or shorter, heavier, stiffer, more loft, less loft, but we know what you think is normal. So we've inputted those numbers, we've put them into our system, we track this information. The theory is really simple. If I can build you a perfect driver, there's a couple reasons. If you lose that golf club, you can call us and we can replace it, or hopefully the next time you go back to purchase a driver, we can have you come back to us for the exact same process.
So in a lot of ways, you're like a tour truck for the consumer.
That's exactly right. And we deal with a lot of tour players and we do the exact same process with them. So now we're going to hit some balls on TrackMan and see what kind of numbers and everything else we get, and you'll get my recommendation on where we need to be.
Brilliant. Now
we can get different shafts at different lofts, at different setups across the board. And I'm going to start this right out at 10.5 neutral. It will just set it up as standard, no draw bias, no anything. You're just a normal golfer, came in off the street. This is a custom shaft, but it should be, you know, too light, too soft, too flexible for you. All right, whether or not this fits, we'll find out here shortly. All right, hit that 10 times for us. Okay, just as we expected, we'd see it go considerably too high. Here you go, Daniel. So this is a great example, an excellent example of what we're trying to accomplish. So these are the individual shots, and you can see we've got a couple of them that aren't as good as others. So I'd probably go in right away and just delete that shot. We'll blame that on user error, Daniel error, okay? So your speed is exactly where you anticipated it would be, right? In this case, there's a few things going on. The launch angle is much too high. The ball speed is low because of the smash factor being low. Now we know it could be that the club is too long, too light, too flexible, a bunch of different factors, but that's still not going to affect the launch angle and the spin rate, and ultimately the carry and the total rollout. Based on how you carry the ball, launch, and spin, it's coming out of the sky much too steep. Certainly the new Titleist drivers, we wouldn't go with the D3, the little bit harder version to hit. And then with the Ping, you'd have a couple different versions. Probably not the SFT, because we've already got the ball going a little bit left to target, and we've got a little bit left path and face. We don't need any more left cooked into the system. Now if you go back to the averages, still too high. One thing I'm going to do, is that tee height too high for you?
A little bit.
Okay, I'm going to decrease that too, because I think that's part of the problem. But we're also going to take a little bit more loft off of this. Go to the low neutral setting. This will open the face a little bit too, so maybe our tendency to get a little bit left will go away as well. So after having you hit 2 golf clubs now, we know your primary, well, there's a couple things. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything, so still a little bit of this issue with contact, right? But we've scrubbed up the data and know that somewhere around 140 is what we're doing right now. We've got the tee height where we want it. We really have kind of narrowed in exactly where our speed is. Might even switch the tempo to be a little bit faster. But it's still going too high based on our average land angle of everything we hit. We were at 46, we brought it down to 42, and we didn't scrub that one up, but we got that one finally down to 35 where we should be, even still a little bit of a miss hit, and I don't even doubt that you like this a little bit lower, right? Well, it's, you know, this is a good segue. I mean, we deal with some of the best players in the world where I can have them hit, or some of the top amateurs, as a matter of fact. I've worked with some girls that are great ball strikers, 14, 15, 16 years old, that do the exact same thing every time. And if I started out and showed them that they were hitting everything a little bit left, they could make a minor adjustment after hitting their club and start hitting it in the same place just by changing their mind, changing their opinion. In this case, I don't want you to change, right? But the new G30 LS would be one of the top models I would think for you because of the forgiveness side of it, as well as the low spin. So ultimately, we finalize the report with the TrackMan data. It's saved. We can look through the report, and the same thing. Everything is left of center, but we don't have a true target out there. There's some 6-iron numbers that we loosened up with, and I kept those in there. So it looks a little funny when you go to the next pages of data. right? You start seeing some of these shorter shots, and those 2 shots probably should have been deleted. There might even been a couple high ones that should have been deleted as well. And then you can look at the 3rd page, just gives you the pure averages. So when you look at this, which is what everybody ultimately focuses on, the club head speed is pretty similar. Sans the difference with the 6-iron. The launch angles are all pretty similar when we're just using good shots.
So by getting the right driver, guys, I've just found, let's say,
35 yards.
35 yards. Now that's ridiculous. So everyone really should go and get a proper driver fitting done.
Things like that. And Rosberg and Arnold Palmer were saying at my house, my son always brags that I made the cut and both of them missed the cut. 3 months later, Palmer won the Masters. Yeah, I take the credit. I meant to reply to that is baloney.